film begins with a scene of a hitman named Pei Qin sitting casually and chatting with a group of merchants who are, in reality, robbers. Pei Qin explains that he is there purely to make money, as an official has placed bounties on fugitives and is offering rewards for their capture. He further adds that he only wants to retrieve the government property stolen by the robbers during their journey. According to his sources, after seizing the goods, these robbers killed a Persian merchant and all his guards. However, Pei Qin makes it clear that he will not press the issue if Chu Xiong agrees to hand over the jewel he stole. Hearing this, Chu Xiong merely smirks, as if mocking Pei Qin for being an amateur hitman. He claims that he fears no assassin except for the 4 legendary killers whose names alone are enough to make him tremble. Judging from Pei Qin's shabby appearance, Chu Xiong is convinced that he is neither the Ghost Lady, the White-Haired One, the Cruel Blind Killer, nor the Jackal Warrior. Chu Xiong and his gang prepare to confront Pei Qin, and soon a fierce fight breaks out. Surprisingly, Pei Qin proves to be an impressive fighter, swiftly taking down Chu Xiong and all his henchmen. After defeating them, Pei Qin searches through their belongings for the stolen jewel. However, despite rummaging through the crates, he does not find what he is looking for. Instead, he discovers a woman bound inside a wooden chest that Chu Xiong had been carrying. At that moment, Chu Xiong reveals that this woman holds a secret far more valuable than any jewel. Before he can explain further, the woman, Liu Zhen, suddenly breaks free and kills Chu Xiong with a sword lying on the ground. Furious, Pei Qin lashes out at Liu Zhen for killing Chu Xiong, since he can no longer collect his reward. Liu Zhen, however, does not care, and even slaps Pei Qin, further igniting his anger until he ultimately knocks her unconscious. Pei Qin then hurries to the local government office, where he usually claims bounties for the fugitives he captures. This time, however, he brings Liu Zhen along, hoping to receive compensation since Chu Xiong was killed by her. Unfortunately, an official named Wu Xiao informs him that no compensation can be given. The rules are clear. The government wants fugitives alive so they can receive fitting punishment for their crimes. Wu Xiao even plans to release Liu Zhen, despite her killing Chu Xiong, since under the law, anyone who kills a high-priority fugitive does not face jail time. Just then, an official named Zhang, Wu Xiao's superior, arrives. Zhang disagrees with this leniency, believing that murder is still murder, and insists that Liu Zhen be interrogated before determining her punishment. Terrified when confronted by Zhang, Liu Zhen begs Pei Qin to kill her rather than see her imprisoned and tortured. Later, Zhang offers Pei Qin a small reward for bringing Liu Zhen in, even though she is not a government fugitive. Pei Qin accepts the money and watches as Liu Zhen is taken away. Afterward, Pei Qin continues on his way. As he approaches a certain road, he notices guards belonging to a ministry official passing through. He quickly steps aside to avoid them, as if deliberately keeping out of their path. The guards appear to be trying to remove a young girl who is crying in the middle of the road. Guo Shang, a ministry official, steps down from his carriage and scolds the girl, ordering her to clear his way. Later, Pei Qin goes to a gambling den to drink and try his luck with the hard-earned money he has just received, even though he knows he is no good at gambling. He considers the presence of a young boy at the den to be a bad omen, as he has always had a strong dislike for children. Soon after, he is forcibly thrown out of the gambling den, having lost all his money. At that moment, he spots the same young boy being bullied by adults who are trying to take his hard-earned money. Still slightly drunk, Pei Qin deliberately bumps into the bullies to discreetly grab the boy's money, though he takes a few punches in the process. Shortly afterward, Guo Shang's guards arrive and begin beating the bullies until they are battered and bruised. It turns out that these guards were once Pei Qin's comrades when they all served as royal soldiers. After leaving the army, Pei Qin's 4 former comrades chose to work as Guo Shang's personal guards, while Pei Qin took up a life as a hitman and bounty hunter. One of his former comrades, Huo Lan, instructs a colleague to give Pei Qin some money so he can buy food. Huo Lan also tells him to meet at the Bui settlement on Buzi Mountain. However, after regaining his senses, Pei Qin ends up spending the money on drinks and gambling once again until he is left penniless. Meanwhile, in prison, Liu Zhen attempts to deceive a guard with her charm in order to steal the key he carries. Just as she seems close to succeeding, Huo Lan and his colleagues arrive and forcibly remove her from her cell. Witnessing this, Zhang, a regional official, can only bow to Huo Lan as he takes Liu Zhen out of the prison. When Wu Xiao questions their authority to release her, Zhang advises him not to interfere, as their status surpasses the laws he knows. The next day, Pei Xing wakes up at the home of Ying, a female physician he knows. Ying explains that she sent a beggar to bring him to her house while he was asleep because she did not want him dying on the streets. Moments later, she checks his condition after his recent work as a bounty hunter. Pei Xing tells her that the information she gave him was wrong. Chu Xiong had not stolen a jewel but had kidnapped a woman. He assures her that his money has already been spent on gambling, so she does not need to worry about collecting his debts. Pei Xing then leaves to meet Zhang, who has a new job for him. This time he is tasked with capturing a couple known not only for robbery, but also for murder and human trafficking. According to the information he receives, the couple is hiding in an abandoned stone factory on the outskirts of the city. When Pei Xing arrives, the couple appears frightened, claiming that they only stole a cow and do not deserve to have a hitman sent after them. Suddenly, an arrow flies into the room, striking the female fugitive. Other assassins have also been sent to the scene, including the Ghost Lady, Lian Ru, Mo Men, and Jingjing. However, their mission is not to capture the couple. They are there to capture Pei Xing, who has now been declared a government fugitive. Despite a grueling fight, Pei Xing manages to escape, killing one of the assassins in the process. Soon after, Pei Xing returns to the city to confront the government office about why he has been labeled a fugitive. Before he can arrive, however, two more assassins appear and target him. Another intense battle ensues, but this time Pei Xing dominates the fight and defeats them with ease. Elsewhere, Zhang is at a brothel when someone impatiently bangs on the door. Just as Zhang moves to open it, Pei Xing bursts in, demanding an explanation as to why he has been made a fugitive when they met earlier that day, and Zhang said nothing about it. Terrified, Zhang confesses that the order to capture Pei Xing came directly from his superior. As a regional official, he has no authority to question the command. He suggests that it might be related to the woman Pei Xing brought in earlier. Rumors say that anyone who becomes involved with her will face a death sentence. Hearing this, Pei Xing grows intensely curious about Liu Zhen and resolves to dig deeper into her story. Later that night, as Pei Xing made his way home, Wu Xiao approached him with valuable information. Wu Xiao revealed that Liu Zhen had been taken back to prison after Pei Xing left the government office. Soon after, guards sent by a powerful ministry official named Guo Shang had arrived and forcibly removed her from her cell. Wu Xiao did not know much about Guo Shang aside from his reputation as a highly respected official, even feared by Zhang. Recently, Guo Shang had employed locals to cut timber across the region to construct a towering structure on Buzi Mountain, though its purpose remained a mystery. Meanwhile, Guo Shang was at a high-security prison where he held Liu Zhen captive and tortured her for information. He promised her untold wealth if she agreed to cooperate. However, Liu Zhen remained unfazed, declaring that even under threat of death, she would never reveal her secret. Aware of her stubbornness, Guo Shang made it clear that he would not let her escape. The next day, Pei Xing arrived at Guo Shang's estate on Buzi Mountain in response to an invitation from Huo Lan, who was thrilled that Pei Xing had finally accepted his offer. Huo Lan told him that he and his colleagues were living far better lives as Guo Shang's personal guards. He then led Pei Xing into a room to meet Guo Shang. Inside, Guo Shang calmly watched as two men fought brutally on his orders, battling to the death, with the loser destined to be fed to wolves. Guo Shang was well aware of Pei Xing's past as a loyal soldier who had helped quell rebellions alongside Huo Lan and others. Impressed by his service, Guo Shang expressed his desire for Pei Xing to join him, promising him every pleasure he could desire. However, Pei Xing had come with a different purpose. He knew that Guo Shang was searching for a son born to Liu Zhen some time ago. Pei Xing offered to find the baby boy in exchange for having his name removed from the fugitive list. Guo Shang was shocked that Pei Xing knew about the child. He revealed that the boy was the son of the prime minister, who had longed for a son in his old age. Unexpectedly, Liu Zhen had taken the child and left when he was barely a month old due to internal family conflicts. At the same time, the prime minister's family viewed the boy as a disgrace. Understanding the situation, Pei Xing promised to deliver the baby within 10 days. If he failed, Guo Shang could kill him and feed him to the wolves. If he succeeded, the bounty on his head would be lifted. With the terms set, Pei Xing left to begin his search. Shortly afterward, Lian Ru and Mao Men arrived with the intention of killing Pei Xing to avenge their fallen comrade. Huo Lan quickly stopped them, explaining that the bounty on Pei Xing had been temporarily suspended. Surprised and questioning Huo Lan's authority, they hesitated. Refusing to obey him, they drew their weapons and prepared to fight. Meanwhile, Pei Xing went to Ying's residence to share what he had learned about Liu Zhen. He was only speculating about the child's whereabouts, but when Liu Zhen had pleaded with him, he had seen in her eyes a fierce determination to protect someone dear to her, even at the cost of her own life. Peixing asked Ying to help him gather information about Liu Zhen's son. Ying immediately sought the assistance of local beggars to track down anyone connected to Liu Zhen. With new information in hand, Peixing met a young girl who led him to the home of Ji Yi, a middle-aged woman entrusted by Liu Zhen to care for her baby boy. Ji Yi explained that Liu Zhen had left the child in her care, leaving behind only a mirror and promising to return soon. However, she had never come back. Grateful for Peixing's arrival, Ji Yi admitted she had struggled to care for the baby while raising her own 3 children. Since Liu Zhen had never given the boy a name, Ji Yi had simply called him Xiao Bao. On his journey to Guoshang's estate, Peixing struggled to care for Xiao Bao, especially since he had never liked children. Yet over time, he noticed that the boy somehow helped him sleep peacefully. For years, Peixing had been plagued by nightmares from his past that robbed him of restful sleep. Not long after, a skilled tracker approached Peixing and handed him a letter from Wu Xiao. In the letter, Wu Xiao revealed that Guoshang was the illegitimate son of the Prime Minister, Li Chongji, and handled the ministry's darkest affairs. Because Li Chongji was old and his wife could not bear him an heir, he intentionally impregnated Liu Zhen, believing a prophecy that the child would bring him immense happiness and fortune. Li Chongji was thrilled by the prophecy, but his extended family who disapproved of Liu Zhen was not. When Liu Zhen learned that they wanted her son dead, she fled the capital with her child. Meanwhile, Guoshang used his authority to hunt down Liu Zhen and her son under the pretense of fulfilling the Prime Minister's order to find his heir. In truth, Guoshang sought to inherit his father's position and planned to sacrifice Liu Zhen's son during a full moon ritual as he practiced dark magic from the western regions. On the 10th day, Peixing arrived at Guoshang's estate with the baby boy. Despite what Wu Xiao had revealed, Peixing initially appeared indifferent, focused only on regaining his freedom and continuing his life as a bounty hunter. Yet he began to hesitate when his horse behaved strangely, almost as if resisting taking the boy to Guoshang. Even when Peixing tried to leave, the horse refused to obey. In the end, Peixing abandoned his plan to hand Xiao Bao over and instead took him to Ying's home. Puzzled by his decision, Ying questioned why he was protecting the child when he disliked children so much. Peixing replied that he wanted to see Xiao Bao grow up and intended to stay alive to protect him. Moved by his words, Ying allowed Peixing to care for Xiao Bao, knowing that beneath his hardened exterior, he had a kind heart. Meanwhile, Peixing was haunted by a painful memory from his past, when he had been forced to kill 2 children before their mother after their father was deemed a traitor by the king. Though he had hesitated, Huo Lan had urged him on, and he had been forced to swing his sword. Overcome with grief, the mother had chosen to surrender her life to his blade. Determined not to repeat his past mistakes, Peixing resolved to save Liu Zhen. Before leaving, he told Ying to find a safe place for Xiao Bao if he did not return by dawn. Soon, Peixing arrived at the place where Liu Zhen was believed to be held. Wu Xiao also intended to rescue her, despite not being as skilled a fighter as Peixing. He even planned to report Guoshang's crimes to the government, knowing it might cost him his position. After scouting the area, Wu Xiao noticed something unusual. There was not a single guard in sight, even though Guoshang would normally have stationed many there. He warned Peixing to be cautious as he entered, while he remained outside to keep watch. Inside, Peixing sensed that something was wrong. He could not find a single guard. It was as if the place had been abandoned. In truth, Huo Lan had already learned of Peixing's intention to rescue Liu Zhen and had ordered the guards to leave. At the same time, Huo Lan confronted Wu Xiao, who was standing guard outside. As Peixing moved deeper into the compound, he encountered the legendary assassin, the white-haired killer, Dong Hai, who had been eagerly waiting for a long-desired showdown. Peixing felt honored, realizing that Dong Hai, the top-ranked assassin, had personally come to kill him. An epic and tense battle soon erupted between the 2 greatest assassins. After a fierce struggle, Peixing managed to defeat Dong Hai. In his final moments, Dong Hai asked why Peixing was so determined to risk his life to protect a boy who meant nothing to him. He found Peixing's actions perplexing, completely at odds with the jackal he once knew. Dong Hai also admitted that he envied Peixing's freedom, the way he lived without fearing death, even though it could come for him at any moment. Soon after, Peixing finally found Liu Zhen, weak and in a pitiful state. Holding her close, he showed her the mirror that belonged to her son and told her that her child was safe. Liu Zhen felt immense relief and happiness upon hearing this, knowing that before she died, someone was willing to care for her son. When Pei Xing returned to Ying's home, he grew suspicious of the dark and silent surroundings. Inside, he found Wu Xiao's severed head on the table and immediately deduced that Huolan had been there. It turned out that Ying had betrayed him by revealing the boy's location to Huolan. Soon after, Huolan and his colleagues attacked Pei Xing and managed to corner him. Huolan ordered one of his allies, Wei, to kill Pei Xing, but Wei refused, unwilling to strike him down in his helpless state. Enraged, Huolan killed Wei for his disobedience, giving Pei Xing the opportunity to escape. At Guoshang's estate, Zhang informed Huolan that he would spread rumors framing Wu Xiao and Pei Xing as rebels to prevent citizens from questioning their deaths. Huolan, however, grew impatient with Zhang's chatter and insisted they focus on preparing the altar for Guoshang's upcoming ritual. After Huolan and his group left, Pei Xing returned to confront Ying about her betrayal. Frightened, Ying explained that she had been forced into it, as she did not want to return to the painful life she had once escaped. She added that Pei Xing should have considered her, the one who had always cared for him, before risking his life for others. Realizing his mistake, Pei Xing acknowledged that he had rarely shown appreciation for Ying, who had helped him countless times. After restoring Wu Xiao's body, Pei Xing prepared to rescue Xiao Bao, who had been handed over to Guoshang. Before he departed, Ying urged him to be careful, warning that Huolan had grown far more powerful since acquiring the celestial sword of Baiqi, the god of assassins. Shortly afterward, Pei Xing went to his old burial site to retrieve the weapons from his days as a soldier. Determined to save Xiao Bao and eliminate everyone involved in this cruelty, he prepared for the final confrontation. Meanwhile, at the altar, Guoshang thanked Huolan, acknowledging that without him, he could not have accomplished any of this or captured Liu Zhen's son. Guoshang promised Huolan an even higher position, as long as he continued to obey his commands and help fulfill his ambitions. Not long after, Pei Xing arrived at the altar to save Xiao Bao from being sacrificed. His former comrades Mei and Bo urged him to abandon his stubborn pursuit, warning that he would only meet his death. Though they did not wish to face him as enemies, Pei Xing's interference in their master's affairs left them no choice. An intense fight broke out, with all three displaying evenly matched skills. Despite being outnumbered, Pei Xing ultimately defeated Mei and Bo. He ordered them to leave, still considering them old friends and unwilling to take their lives. Suddenly, a spear flew swiftly toward them, instantly killing Mei and Bo. It had been thrown by Fang, one of their comrades, who was disgusted by their lingering sympathy for Pei Xing, even though he was now their enemy. Pei Xing was once again thrust into a fierce battle and found himself momentarily overwhelmed. At the same time, the ritual began, and a shaman prepared to sacrifice Xiao Bao. Seeing this, Pei Xing quickly dispatched Fang and rushed toward the altar, where he swiftly killed the shaman to save the boy's life. With Xiao Bao safe, Pei Xing confronted Fang once more. In a relentless assault, he struck Fang down. Though Fang knelt and begged for mercy, Pei Xing, remembering his fallen friends, refused to spare him and killed him. Soon after, Huolan was forced to intervene personally to stop Pei Xing's rampage, which had decimated the altar and claimed the lives of his comrades. Pei Xing struggled against Huolan as the powerful celestial sword overwhelmed his own weapon. Nevertheless, he refused to surrender and mustered all his strength to counter Huolan. Using burning embers, Pei Xing blinded Huolan with sparks, temporarily disorienting him. Seizing the opportunity, Pei Xing unleashed his ultimate move and killed Huolan. The remaining guards, witnessing his terrifying prowess, chose to flee rather than risk their lives. The next day, Guoshang found Xiao Bao alive, accompanied by Pei Xing, who had come to avenge Liu Zhen's death. Pei Xing mercilessly beat Guoshang, crippling him in retribution for everything he had done. However, he spared Guoshang's life, wanting him to live in helpless suffering for the rest of his days. Furious, yet powerless, Guoshang could do nothing to stop him, as even his guards were terrified of Pei Xing. Before Pei Xing left with Xiao Bao, Guoshang warned him to remain vigilant, vowing that every assassin in the world would hunt him down and that he would not rest until Pei Xing's head was claimed. Before the film ends, Pei Xing and Xiao Bao stand at a crossroads. One path leads toward the capital and wealth, promising a brighter future. The other, to the right, leads into the martial world, full of obstacles, yet offering strength and growth. In a mid-credit scene, a wanderer is seen eating at a roadside inn. The man receives a wanted poster bearing Pei Xing's name. As the camera reveals his face, it becomes clear that he is the legendary blind assassin, Qi Miao. So, what did you think of the movie? Leave it in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you in the next video.